This is a conference on psychedelics, and psychedelics are amplifiers, catalysts. Catalysts for change, including cultural and societal change.
Up until just a few years ago, whenever I would go to a psychedelic conference, I would already know everything that was going to be said. And here, there's so much new information that I didn't even know before I heard it.
If there's one organisation or conference that's aware that there is a human life behind every single point on every graph from every academic that presents here, it's open, it's ICPR.
Psychedelics seem to be what we call the master keys for unlocking something called critical periods. These windows of time where the brain is especially sensitive to its environment and able to learn in lasting ways from that environment. If psychedelics really are the master keys for unlocking critical periods, it would explain why they're also effective in so many different disorders of the brain.
What the idea is about psychedelics, that they can reduce the strict organization in the brain, the compulsivity. They shake up the existing very strict, inflexible ways of thinking and behaving and experiencing.
In my opinion, this is the best conference in the world, not only in Europe. It has a very humanistic level that I haven't seen in other conferences, and also the speakers are amazing, so I'm very happy to be here.
The diversity of various backgrounds and the diversity of presentations is very interesting and very invigorating.
Working with psychedelics is not talk therapy plus psychedelics. There's a relationship the client has with the psychedelic that the therapist has with the psychedelic, and then that the therapist and client have together. That's a different way of working than just with regular psychotherapy.
Psychedelics have given me an insight into myself, changed my relationship to depression, inspired me to make sure that other people have access to these same treatments.
I've been off antidepressants for the last 5 years now, following that trial. I got to a place where I was more able to deal with the range of emotions I was feeling, because depression for me was about resisting feelings, resisting thoughts, pushing them away.
One of the most common insights that people have with psychedelics is that everything is interconnected, that they're part of a living web of life. And it can be an incredible insight, and really transformational for people to realize that.
I'm very interested in psychedelic research, and I hope to someday do my PhD on it.
I'm curious about psychedelics because the trials are showing that it can help so many people in so many different ways.
More research is needed into the therapeutic application of psychedelics, and we all want that application to be proven effective.
When clinical studies are getting headlines in major publications, usually talking about the benefits and the breakthroughs and the amazing turnaround, and people who've been suffering for a long time in the course of a couple of days don't suffer so much anymore. That needs to be counterbalanced with very clear messaging that these are still experimental therapeutic interventions. They don't work for everyone, and some people will be harmed by them. It's like any other powerful intervention.
As we are seeing today, there's a lot of underground movement. There's ayahuasca retreats, psilocybin retreats. People are using these substances already in diverse ways. I think that it's a matter of finding how these will be implemented in the medical system.
This whole movement has learned to some good extent from the experience of what happened in the 60s with Timothy Leary. You're not hearing the tune in, turn on, drop out rhetoric. There's people who are much more conscious of the need to engage in some forms of safety, some forms of harm reduction. I think that's much more woven into the movement now.
The main idea of the psychedelic renaissance was a break with the counterculture and to bring psychedelics into the culture. And that means into cultural institutions, and cultural institutions are rule governed. And that means you have to find a space for these wild substances in a rule-governed world. And I think that's part of the drama that's playing out.
Psychedelics can tell you that light, colors, objects are absolutely not necessary in the form you experience them right now, that there are different other possibilities. But when the psychedelic experience gets deeper, you begin to realize the constructed nature of self and the constructed nature of the seeing process itself. Just knowing about this ocean of alternate possibilities that's there all the time, that gives dignity to your life also. That adds a depth dimension to your life that can be very valuable.